What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, you guys are going to see some nighttime action. Videos from coast to coast, California to Virginia, and multiple places in between. Unusual objects in the sky that people simply couldn't identify. Kind of like this video here sent in by DJ Don Hopkins. Notice this string of lights way up in the sky, orbiting the Earth. More than likely what these were a version of a Starlink satellite train. This particular train has probably been in orbit for several weeks. That's why the lights are so far apart. Whenever these are first put into orbit, the lights are much closer together. As these things keep making multiple orbits around the Earth, the lights become farther and farther apart. That's why this set of satellites look different than the ones that we're used to seeing. You don't normally see them after a while, and eventually these will become almost invisible. But good observation by DJ Don Hopkins. Thanks for sharing. Today's feature photo was sent in by Polenta out of California. Look at the angles in the sky here. She looked up and noticed how unnatural the sky looked above California the other day. Shared this photo with me, and I'm sharing it with you guys. Normally the wind doesn't necessarily work in these type of very sharp, crisp angles. They all look to be about the same, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30, maybe 35 degree angles in the sky above Sacramento. Here's another photo that was sent in by Monica Rose above Cabo San Lucas, taken on the 20th. This would be yesterday. Notice the sharp contrast in the sky above Cabo San Lucas. And I have one more image I want to share with you guys. This is a satellite view from the massive dust storm that went through New Mexico, northern Mexico, and most of Arizona on the night of the 20th. And in fact, the dust was lingering around Phoenix all day yesterday, and there's still some today. I wanted to show you just how big this was on satellite presentation. Here's the top of the wall of dust going down to the bottom of the wall of dust, measuring 269 miles. I think that's the biggest one I've ever seen. Checking in on the GOES X-Ray Flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. Have seen a little bit of activity here in the last 24 hours. An M57 class solar flare was not Earth directed. Looking at the Schumann resonance, very active right now as I do this video, up over 40 hertz. And remember, the frequency of the Earth is 7.4 hertz. Looking at the power outage situation over here at poweroutage.us. Another day of power outages in Michigan. 18,369. That's been going on now for about 4 days in a row. Washington, 21,004 and 10,995 in California. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. An absence of data at Old Faithful for whatever reasons. Looking at the borehole seismograph, this one's at a league all its own, showing weird wavy signatures now going on 3 weeks. Other than that, pretty quiet at the supervolcano caldera. Want to take you guys now to Kentucky. Here is a bizarre object spotted in the nighttime sky by Casey back on May 28th at 9:45 p.m. Here we go. Here's what he saw in the nighttime sky, very quietly cruising across the Kentucky skies. Wasn't making any sound. You can see a very obvious shape. It's round with some sort of features on the outer perimeter of what looks like a large orb in the sky. Again, moving very slowly, no blinking lights, wasn't making any sound, wasn't an airplane, wasn't a helicopter. I suppose a drone could always be in the equation, but this thing looks to be pretty good size. That's probably at least 1,000, maybe 1,500 feet in the sky, and still looks to be pretty good size. So I would say, based off of that alone, it's probably bigger than your typical novelty drone. And again, maybe it wasn't a novelty drone. I don't know, but it was a mysterious object that caught Casey's attention, and he took this video that was 1 minute and 46 seconds long of this object that was moving very slowly, once again above Kentucky, and then it just simply disappears. Watch as you're going to see it disappear here in just a couple of seconds. It remains, again, semi-stationary above Kentucky, moving very, very slowly. Okay, check this out. Here's where it disappears. It starts changing color. You're going to see it look like it tumbles and starts to change shape and then disappears. What a bizarre observation above Kentucky. Great job, Casey. Thanks for sharing. Going from Kentucky to California, these videos are of something mysterious in the sky that was simply unrecognizable. We're going to start off in California, go from California to Arizona to Virginia. These videos have narration, and here we go.
It's an airplane. is that?
Johnny Wesley.
Bro.
A spaceship!
Oh, nah. There's not a rocket?
Dude, that's not a rocket.
Dude, what is that?
Blasting on both sides. My phone's dead, I told you.
Hey, what is that? What is that?
If it's American made, that is extremely high with the voltage it had. That's not an airplane.
Where's it going?
Is it has some sort of structure to the end of it.
Yeah.
And it went over us.
Trying to get my camera to focus.
You know what? It could be a weather balloon and the sun's reflecting off of it.
Moving too fast for that.
And it went over us.
Trying to get my camera to focus.
You know what? It could be a weather balloon and the sun's reflecting off of it.
And that's a good point. Let me pause it right there real quick. If it were a weather balloon, it would have to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 63,000 feet, which a lot of times that's where they do fly. But this thing was moving across the sky pretty quickly. So more than likely it wasn't a weather balloon, but you can see how they were trying to figure out what they were looking at as it was unrecognizable. Here's another video from the same night, May 31st, taken by Kurt B. at 9:08 p.m. Not quite sure of the location, but it looks like the same exact object. Look at that thing. I mean, that doesn't look like a typical rocket. It looks like the same object that was just spotted above Fresno, California. Quietly moving through the sky, no blinking lights. Clearly not an airplane or a helicopter. Got some sort of a weird feature on the top of it or the back of it, however you want to interpret that. But these people were very taken back by what they saw. You could hear them kind of chuckling there. They weren't sure what they'd just witnessed in the sky. Fountain Hills, Arizona. Noah, also on May 31st, 2024. I think he saw the same object in the nighttime sky. Check it out. Visible from Arizona. We're going to go from California to an undisclosed location to Arizona. Next, we're going to Virginia. And then the last video I'm going to share with you guys kind of rules out the whole rocket idea because I'm going to show you guys a classic rocket launch at the end of this video. And it looks nothing like what we're looking at right here. This thing is super quiet, doesn't have much exhaust at all, if in fact that is what we're looking at. It has some sort of a vapor field around it, quite possibly an energy field. Again, very, very quiet, no blinking lights, seems to be steady, whatever it may be. Another good observation from the same night, May 31st of 2024. Just doesn't look like a typical rocket launch. Here he zooms in, and like they were describing from Fresno, it has what looks like some sort of exhaust or energy coming out the sides, not the back. Now we're going to Virginia. This video has narration, and here we go.
Ooh, I got it. Ooh. Wow.
No, they haven't left the space station yet. They just got docked. They missed their first dock.
That's sick.
It's not.
Good eye, Josh. Dad, you're missing it.
Nice work, Josh.
That's it. Wow. That's like all the jellyfish. Looks like a jellyfish, you know?
Yeah. So where's that launch from?
I have no idea.
I think, is that entry or no?
Google
Wait
it
a
now.
minute. What direct? Yeah, that wouldn't have launched up here at Wallace
No.
either.
No, that would have been
That's
right outside.
entry, not
That's
going out.
departure. It's gone.
as departure.
Yeah.
It's not showing up on this thing.
Wow, over a minute.
That's
It's still going. Oh, it's
Oh,
going.
there we go. Bye.
These have almost become commonplace in the nighttime sky, seeing these practically once a week or at least once every 2 weeks. Here is a classic SpaceX rocket launch, and I know they have different kinds of rockets, but this is normally what we see. I've actually seen this myself from Central Arizona. I have a video of it. This video was sent in by Terry Kaiser. Not quite sure of the location. It was either California or Florida. And notice how it appears to be moving horizontally along the coastline instead of vertically like most rockets that I've seen many years ago. When I used to live in Florida, we could see rocket launches from Cape Canaveral. But regardless, this looks nothing like this, or this that people saw all across the country on the night of May 31st of 2024. Great observations, guys. Thanks for sharing. Keep them coming. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.